Guys, so I gave this to my friend Sherry, and it had flower bulbs in it, and they finished. So she let me have the bulbs, and I planted them in the yard on the little hill behind me, and the box was really nice. So I was thinking, to get more mason bees, maybe I could make this into a bee house and put it on the fence, not where the birds are, which is kind of hard in this yard, but I'll find somewhere. And I also had this pot. It was a pot. It had a bottom on it. It's made of Spanish cork oak. The bark on the tree is where you get corks, like wine bottle corks, cork push pin boards. This is the tree they take the bark off of to make those with. And the bottom fell out of it. But that's okay, because both of these could be hung on a fence somewhere and made into mason bee nests. And I was thinking, you know me, I go into my recycling. Reduce, reuse, recycle, repurpose. And I was trying to find something I could use, and toilet paper rolls are too big for their little cell tubes, so I couldn't use that. Paper towel rolls are too big. I didn't have any smaller ones. I'm sure you can buy cardboard tubes online. I've seen them in catalogs before, but why pay money if I could make them myself, and then I'd have a craft project? So I found this in where I store extra paper, and I probably came in something I bought for you guys, and there were stickers on it or something. And I thought, well, I'll roll it up. But it gets kind of stiff and cracky. But if I get this thin cardboard wet, and I roll it up then on a piece of wooden dowel from the garage, from some tool, then I can take it and I can put a rubber band around it and make it dry that way in a tube. So I'm going to recycle, I'm going to repurpose this, and it won't be thrown away for the landfill. And that makes me glad, because you remember, anytime they make a dump, also called a landfill, it's a place where animals live, and people make a judgment about whether or not it's important or it's pretty, and they don't always pay attention to whether animals are happy there. We know that stuff lives in the most desolate means there's like nothing there, of deserts. Yet there are things there. There are creatures we wouldn't believe live there. You know about the emperor penguins. They live in Antarctica. What's more desolate and cold and miserable than that? But they do just fine. So rather than send these things to a place where it would fill up an animal's home, I like to reduce, that means use less, reuse it, recycle it, and repurpose it. I'll give this box another purpose. I hope you'll think of those things too, rather than ask your parents to go to the store and buy you brand new things to make things. I know your art teachers are very good at showing you how to do that stuff. Keep those skills. It'll keep you from getting bored while we're having to wear all these things. Bye, guys. I wanted to give you an update. I've been eating this wheatgrass. I've been cutting it and cutting it and cutting it. This is the one I grew that I showed you first, and I've been putting it into my smoothies because wheatgrass gives you all kinds of vitamins, B6, B12, good for your body. This is the one I planted with you that day. It was like the 2-second planting project. It already started rooting within like 18 hours after I put it in there. And they're so easy to do. And look at your little guy. Look at the little egg guy. Isn't he funny? I mean, I could put a bow up there, make little hair things. I could put it in 2 little ears. I could cut it off and eat it. But this is even funnier. Look at this. It grew into my... This is an orchid that just finished blooming. I like to grow lady slipper orchids. They're my favorite, especially the lime green ones. And look, it grew right in there. I had this on the windowsill in the kitchen. So now I don't want to move it because I know it's kind of happy there, so I'm just going to leave it. But see how much fun you can have with eggs when you know how to blow them out? And Aryan did it. Aryan sent me an email and he showed me how he was doing it with his grandmother, and sort of an unusual project to be doing with your grandmother, I think. But I thought it was very, very cool. So proud of you, buddy. I'm glad that you tried it. Everything that you try, I'm proud of you. And I wanted to show you some stuff I'm going to plant in my backyard. This is lemon thyme. My bees really like the flowers, and I think that the taste of the flowers will give a good taste to my honey. And some of the plants that they had at Home Depot weren't very nice, But I'll feed them and I'll take care of them, and they'll do okay. This is, they're growing together. This is cilantro. That's the Mexican herb. Those don't last very long, and you need to plant them kind of in the shade. And then here's Italian parsley, and that's what I have. Monica, can you pan to our pots? Remember our Italian parsley over there that I have is a backup to the fennel for the Anna swallowtails. So, and I know you saw this, you got a peek of this. I'll talk about this next time. Guys, I just want you to know that Monica and I are staying very far apart. And we have fresh air out here. If we were together in a room or anywhere near, she's just staying far away from me because I'm older and it could be really bad if I got this thing. But we do wear our masks, just not while we're doing this, because you need to see my face and you need to be able to hear me talk. But she's about 8 feet away from me, and we feel pretty safe that way. I prepared this part for tomatoes to be planted, and I put in some soil that I bought at the store because you're not supposed to plant tomatoes in the same place every year. They say because they can get a disease that passes to each other year after year, and also it uses up all the minerals. I like to say minerals because it makes you think of a miner chipping away at rocks. Minerals are broken up rocks that help to feed things and do things for us. I can think of a mineral that I like, salt, on my popcorn, and that's a mineral. But there are minerals in this stuff that I buy. There are many different brands, and I add it to the same place, and then I make sure that the kind of tomato that I buy, it'll say the letter VFN for it's resistant to verticulum wilt and other things that would make the plant sick. So I get super plants that don't get diseased, and I replenish the soil with soil I buy at the store with minerals in it. This has a little bit of manure in it for food too, a little bit of cow manure. So I already improved the soil the other day, and I was all sweaty and dirty. Oh, Monica, get that little lizard. Oh, there's a little lizard out. There's lizards everywhere. We have to be careful where we walk. There he goes. Oh, he went under the rabbit stuff. Pick it up. Oh, there he is. Oh, there he goes. Up the fence. That's a western fence lizard. You know the ones that people call bluebellies? They're everywhere. And I have to be really careful of them. So here's the kinds of tomatoes that I got. This is my favorite. Oh, here he goes. Shh, they're everywhere. It's called Juliet, and I'm breaking off the lower leaves. Now a lot of people think, oh, I'm going to put this in the ground just like this. It's going to be really tall and make tomatoes. Look, there's flowers on it. But this will shock you. I'm going to pinch that off. What? Mrs. Morgan likes to keep them. I pinch them off because now that tells the plant, send all your energy to the roots first, and then you can start making tomatoes on the top. I get tomatoes first and before any of my neighbors. I'm going to throw this for mulch behind this bush. There it goes. Just scared the lizard again. And these are my tomato cages. They're not fancy, but they work. I made them myself. I bought what's called hog wire. You put this kind of wire around a pig pen, and I cut out every other square so I could reach in. I do have to be a little bit careful because these little sharp parts, but so far I'm not much the worse for wear. My other neighbors will take 5 sticks, straight sticks, and make a teepee and twisty tie it at the top. That's good for growing tomatoes up too. Whatever works best for you. Now I know I have 3 cages, but I'm only going to put 2 tomato plants in here. This one's going to be for peas. And I just put it there because I'm just too lazy to put it away. And what I'm going to do is put these in, but I'm going to set them deep. And not very much plant is going to show. This is going to be funny. You're going to go, Terry, what are you thinking? All right, so I'm going to make a hole here. You want to put them far enough apart that they don't bump into each other as they grow. Look at this beautiful soil. And I plant in the same spot every year. This fence faces Ollie's grandparents' house, and that is hawk poop. They sit on the fence here. So I dig this pretty deep, and the soil's just beautiful. And then, this is the shocking part. My tomato is called Juliet. It's good for making tomato sauce. It's little like a grape tomato. It doesn't have too many of the gushy seeds. It's more meaty. The skins are thin, and it's very sweet. It's my favorite tomato, so I put in 2, and I share it with all my neighbors. I put this up here so they know what they're eating. I squeeze this out gently. Do you see how these roots are all kind of wrapped around here? You need to have them spread out, otherwise they'll wrap around and choke each other, choke the whole plant. And you just pick at it a little gently. Little kids' fingers are perfect for this. Now I'm going to do a weird thing. See how I picked off all the leaves? I'm going to put it so deep that I've buried 3 leaf unions. That means where the leaves join on. Look at all, this is all that's going to show from that big plant. That's it. Now you think, what did she just do? She lost most of her plant, but all roots are going to grow along that. More roots pull in more food and more water, and I get more tomatoes. So now I'll put this one a little bit over here. Because these get big, they fill this cage and they start to come out, and I have to actually trim them off. And I'll put this one here. I did all the sweaty, gross work the other day. I didn't think you wanted to watch me sweaty and gross. Oh, Monica, show that poop. That's a lizard poop.
What?
They don't have liquid urine. They have a pasty urine. Look at that. See that little white blob? It comes out like a paste, not all runny. And then there's the little poop here, and I can see an earwig. You know those pincher insects? I can see an earwig pincher. So it's been eating earwigs that would hurt my roses. I love lizards. The more the merrier. Okay, here I go. Put the Juliet sign in. These neighbors love it because they go over the fence and then they have free tomatoes and they don't have to water them or take care of them. They really like it. All right. Loosen the roots. See how I pulled off all the leaves? We're only going to show that much. Do you hear the woodpecker? Oh, no, he's not doing it. That was a woodpecker. Okay, here it goes, way down. Ah, there it is. That's a downy woodpecker. He's not even making a nest there. He just bangs on there to tell the girls he's there so he can breed with them. Right. Was that hard? No. And you can plant them in pots too, but I get better roots when I plant them in the ground. Monica, what do you think?
Do
you put yours in pots or in the
I have
ground?
done it both ways, and I've been successful both ways.
Yeah. You have a smaller yard. I have this humongous yard.
Oh, I would prefer it in the ground like that.
Well, you can always go over to Aunt Terry's and have them from here.
True.
It's free for you. So I also have other plants that are in the same family as tomatoes. It's called the nightshade family. Their flowers all shape the same. Some are white, some are yellow, some are purple. Peppers are nightshade. There's a pepper. What kind is this? Anaheim chili. Stuff them with cheese, put them on the barbecue. Yum! These are sweet banana peppers. No, this is sweet banana pepper. Looks the same. Cook them with onions. Saute them in a little bit of olive oil. Scramble them up in eggs. Yum! And they're not hot. They're not like, they don't hurt you. And then these are those little Japanese eggplant that are long and skinny and so sweet. And you can make a good French vegetable mix called ratatouille. That's my favorite. So I'll be putting these in too. All of these are nightshade. And on all these plants, you can't eat the leaves or the stems or the flowers or the roots, you'd be in the hospital for a long time from that. The only part of it that's good is the fruit. That's it. People would not even eat them in the 1800s because they were afraid that the whole thing was poisonous. Native Americans and people from Mexico had to show them that part of the plant is okay because the animals would eat the fruits and spread the seeds, and that's how the plant can make more of itself. Okay guys, now I have to water it in. So I'm going to water these in really well. And really, I only water these tomatoes in the summer once a week. And I just let the water just dribble in there. Some people will put a soaker hose down at the bottom. And I just let it dribble in there. And each one gets about 4 gallons of water per week. Only once a week, even in the hottest weather. If you water them too much, they're tasteless. They're just not good. There's no flavor to them. But they sweeten up if you make them suffer just a little bit. So that's what I do. With eggplant, these guys, oh man, you have to water those a lot, otherwise they're very, very bitter. And peppers are somewhere in between. I like growing this garden because I can share it with my neighbors. And they bring some of their produce to me too. Now, what you guys need to know, did you see my bird bath over here? It's just made with an old, flour drain pan. But all the lizards drink out of it and a lot of birds drink out of it. I just pruned the ivy around it because it was getting to be a monster. Let me turn this off. And then I'm going to show you the last thing I have to put around. I won't put it on now, but I have to plant the peppers and stuff later on. I don't want to plant everything in the middle of the day. It's kind of hard on them. But after this, I have to put rabbit cage around. Because last year I put the tomatoes in and overnight the rabbits ate all the tomato plants. Which is amazing because it's a nightshade and it's a poisonous plant. So apparently rabbits can eat stuff other animals can't. So I'll take this chicken wire and I'll put it all around the front of this. And then the tomatoes did just fine. And we would I just leaned it against it and we would take it off when we wanted to pick tomatoes. That's the story, Morning Glory. I hope you like gardening with Mrs. Terry. I'll make a few more of these in a couple weeks with Monica. I miss you and I'm thinking about you. And don't forget to email me if you have any pictures or comments or questions. I'm there every Monday and Friday at school because I don't have internet at home. I'm not a computer person. And I will answer all your emails. Love you, miss you. Wear your masks, stay safe, wash your hands. Bye guys.